All right, family. We live with the general. You already know what time it is. We got some fire for you today. Racially charged situations going on out there in the world. And we got to address this, like grown men and women, understand that's moving towards, an advanced stage of success, for our people and community. We got to stand on all 10 when we address this shit. We can't be in between when we see certain shit. We have to call it just like it is. We can't be sugarcoating shit and acting like, that, these people ain't been that way from day one. And that's why when we talk about, even what's going on in the world. That's why, it's really nobody in these wars that's going on. That's them. You see, they warring over who gonna rule over the less than. But we ain't got no stake in the game. We don't want no stake in the game. We always want to be the servants and shit of whoever win. And that's really what it is. You don't want to be on top, but we just have, today we're going to be talking about these Chinese stress dials but I mean, this shit old. I mean, just like I say, this shit old. I mean, I was talking about the other day, how the Japanese got the Sambo. They the biggest consumers of Sambo dials and Sambo little paraphernalia and shit. Oh, so but so what is y'all saying? That shit been going on. You can look that up right now. If you put Samboism in right now, Japan gonna pop up all over the internet because they've been doing it. I mean, for a long time now. So they've been into this type of shit for a long time now. But see, you got to understand this is projection. See, they ain't us. And they know they ain't us. And they know their time is coming because they not the primordials. They not the primordials, and their time is coming too. You see, they living on a stolen legacy. But they take the dial and shit and they do all type of, beat the dial, slam the dial, stick the dial in water and blow the dial up, just do anything stupid that they can. But see, this is the underlying aggression that they got for our people. You see, this is an underlying aggression that if they could physically do one of our people's and see, the thing is, it's just like that gator bait shit, where they, you attack the children. See, it's something about them children. You see what I'm saying? And them motherfuckers on that demonic shit too. You see, you watch them movies and shit. They into that demonic shit too. Real heavy. So, they got that, they got a certain level of demonic possession going on amongst their ass too. So you have to watch them. But you could tell right now, you better watch them. If you got children and shit, you better watch them. You might got a Chinese teacher or something and shit. And you better watch them. They letting to take the babies and do shit like that. I mean, of all the things you're going to take your stress out on, you're going to take your stress out on a baby? You know what I'm saying? That's some sick going on with them. Some sick going on with them people, man. To take a doll that look like a baby and do some shit like that's a baby. A black baby, and you going to take your stress and your negativity out on and do all this negative shit and bang it, and you better watch them. If you any type of child, where you dropping them off daycares, and you better watch them. That's an indicator. That's a serious indicator. Don't have them around none of your children. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk. You think I'm playing games, and I'm dead serious. Let your black ass create a white doll like that and do all them. Man, they'll be locking your ass up, nigga. They'll be locking your ass, or take a Chinese doll and do some shit like that and see what happened to you. See if you can pull some shit off like that. Say this is your stress doll, and you gonna take and you go and do all the crazy shit they were showing, and then you can't say because it's already a certain level of mental disease going on. that you can't apologize for. You can't apologize for no shit like that. It's a certain level. You got to have a certain level of consciousness where you never stoop to no level like that. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to them children, it's like zero tolerance for any type of sick shit. And so anytime you have, these type of, there's something demented going on with you, period. There's something demented going on with you, and you need to deal with that. You got a demon in your ass, and you got to watch him. But just like I said, the Japanese have had the sambo, and see, this is, but yet and still, they're another thief of our culture, and I did my videos, and you can get over there on Patreon. You can watch some of them over there when I did the one on the samurai and things of that. That's our legacy. That ain't got nothing to, they thieves. They thieves. You can look at all the, they love the co-op, the Egyptian culture. You see what I'm saying? The Yu-Gi-Ohs and all of that shit, and even when you watch Johnny Sacco, if you don't remember, John, you got to be where they had the robot similar to, he was a precursor to Voltron and all of that shit. You see what I'm saying? But he had the Egyptian headdress. And when he get, he's a robot, but when he get ready to take off, he go into the car. You know what I'm, his arms be like this, and he takes off and shit. And then he got the eye, the all-seeing eye, all of them. So they thieves. They know who we are. You know what I'm saying? They know who we are, and and then when you check them, and they know your third eye open, then they want to bow down. And then you want to bow down when you know that the third eye is open. We see you. They no different than the Neanderthal. They one come out the East Cave, some come out the West Cave, some come out the North Cave. Some come out the southern cave, but they all out the cave. When I say southern, I'm talking about southern north, not south down here. I'm talking about southern north. You see, so, they all come one way or another out the cave. There's no denying that. When you see this type of shit, but this explains everything, that we was already saying. We got the videos where they was in Africa. I mean, they act like they run Africa. They over there talking to people, picking up sticks and shit, hitting the brothers and shit over there in Africa. And man had to defend himself, whoop the shit out to China, man. They over there talking to black people like they run shit. And see, the Chinese gonna have to learn the hard way. We don't give a fuck how many of you motherfuckers it is. You could get whooped. You can't whoop Africa. You see what I'm saying, man? The average black man will whoop 3-4. See, that's what's wrong with you. Y'all think everybody know, man, niggas over here is breaking backs now. They ain't all that, all that the fucking actor karate and shit. That shit is over. You see, all that actor karate shit is over. Motherfuckers out here really training now. So, I mean, so all that phenomenon, kung fu phenomena, all them damn ropes and shit with motherfuckers flying through the air and shit. No, niggas flying through the air for real today off their own abilities and shit. So, we ain't worried about none of that shit y'all talking about. Y'all fuck around, get y'all, you get what you're asking for. And so, so this is like when you think about Rick Child and what he think, what he think about black people and what they think about black people in general. Now, do all of them? I don't care. I really don't care. I really don't care. It ain't up for me to find out. I'm not looking for no Chinaman, a good Chinaman to find out. You know what I'm saying? He gonna back his and I'm gonna back mine. That's just how that go. And that's how it's always gonna be. He gonna back his and I'm not gonna be apologetic, no way, no how about how I back my people. I don't give a fuck. And if there's a disagreement, we'll talk about it behind the scenes. But when we come out here in public, it's gonna be a united front. That's what it's gonna be. I'm not gonna be bickering with no motherfucker unless you on the other side. You riding the fence ass niggas. You see, riding the fence ass nigga. But again, they look at me and they know our images is all over the Buddhas. They know we didn't woke up now. You see, and let me tell y'all something. I'm not, listen here, man. Do y'all know when I've been doing the Naga? I'm been in the game for a minute now. You see, I've been teaching now over 20 something years. I was doing the Naga video lectures, man. Now I've been doing the Naga video now, man, over 20 years. Do you know when I started doing, man, do you know Chinese and Indian peoples was taking my lectures and putting them in fucking Chinese and Indian websites overseas? It'll have my video, but the whole website would be in Chinese and it would be in Sanskrit and shit. And you know what I'm saying? And I really didn't know, but they had embedded my fucking videos into, because when they seen the Egyptian and the African where they got it from, they was in awe and they could not fucking deny it. You see what I'm saying? They could not motherfucking deny it. You see? So, for them to take my shit and put it in, over in China, over in Asia like that, it let me know. You feel what I'm saying? That this is some international awareness, that our spirit is like the great dragon, is rising up all over this planet. You see what I'm saying? And they paying homage. So you got to step into your divine office and accept your responsibility. That's what you is. You feel what I'm saying? Everything that they did, all the Osar, Buddha, Krishna, all of them is spirits of our people. And we have always been, when you talk about Krishna, another black, woolly head black god that they didn't change the damn the features of. You see, they didn't change the features of Krishna, change the features of Buddha. Now he blue. They didn't change them all blue and shit and bald head and shit. And you know what I'm saying? Because they know that the argument is over with. So now you disdain that which you cannot, you cannot be that. So you disdain it. And so that's what we have. And so you can't let nobody with that type of spirit give you some products. You can't let nobody with that kind of spirit give you no damn products. You putting that shit in your head and shit. You got the Indian woman head and you got the China man hair on your motherfucking head and shit. And you wake up in the middle. Don't you know that your hair is and they want your shit. They want your good shit with all that melanin in it. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit can connect to the universe, and that's real talk. So they cut their shit off and then they'll go in and try to sew your shit on their beards and shit and their hair and shit, behind the scenes, because they already know what it is. They already know what it is. Okay, so they want to be you, and you fucking around wanting to be them, but you the God, you the goddess. You got to stop this shit. We got to grow up. Hit that link right there at the top of the chat, family. Join the General on Patreon. Do it today. Support the General, and I'll be right black. See you in a minute, family. They want our hair and our skin. They do. That's right, family. Black power.